Hey lovelies. Okay, so the recent fight that I got into and then the subsequent dental surgery has really put me in a funk. I don't like all I want to do is sleep. Like I'm genuinely depressed that I had to have dental work, that I had to have a tooth extracted and then put in. Now I'm terrified to eat anything because I don't want it to break out, because the dentist is like, oh, be very careful. I mean, my tooth is attached with a wire at the back, so I can't even like enjoy a breakfast sandwich without being terrified that it's going to fall out. And then I'm stuck without a tooth until the surgery can happen again. You know, I feel as though in my life I'm just not as far as it could be, and I feel like everything just sort of fucks up all at once. It all comes together all at once, and it just sort of like, it feels as though I take 2 steps forward and I take 2 giant leaps back. And while, listen, yeah, I seem to always manage to land on my feet. The problem is that I've fallen so many times that there are so many internal bruises in my body and in my mind that I just want to give up sometimes. I'm just at that place in my life where I just want to give up. I'm just fed up of everything. I love my job, and yet I don't want to go into work because I'm depressed. I like the people I work with, and yet I really don't want to converse with anyone because, again, I'm depressed. A lot of you know that, well, actually not a lot, just a few select group of people knew that I was trying to remain being friends with Angelo. And that came to a stunning halt recently. And so that's also on my mind. That's plaguing my mind. Yeah, like it's just, there's so many things going on that it's so hard for me to focus on anything. It's so hard for me to devote my attention to anything. So let's see. The thing with Angela. Back in February, we went to Edmonton. And when we went to Edmonton, I saw the very first notices of Angelo having anger issues and control issues when he put his fist through a wall in the hotel room. So what happened was, we were in the hotel room. We had already been drinking, and we had gotten back to the hotel after hanging out at Jesse. Pardon me. And when we got back to the hotel, his phone beeped while he was in the shower. And I mean, we didn't have anything to hide from each other. And then all of a sudden it was some girl's name, and she was like, I think she said something like, I missed you too, love, wish you were here. And I was like, wow. So I opened up his phone to find out that he had sent this person the exact same Valentine's Day messages that he had sent to me. I mean, granted, he sent them to me first. I checked the timestamp on them, but the reality is that he was carrying on an emotional relationship with someone else other than me, and yet telling me that he loved me. So we fought about it, and the fighting turned into him smashing a hole in the wall. That, he never hit me back then. Fast forward to, I believe, I want to say April, and we were drinking, and all of our fights were him drinking, him thinking that he could handle his drinking, and in fact he couldn't. So we were drinking in the kitchen, and he grabbed me by the throat and threw me to the ground, and I brushed it off because when I'm drinking, I tend to egg people on. I tend to know the buttons to push. And while it's never okay to put your hands on someone, I don't think I deserved it. No one deserves to be hit. But I did push him to his limit. So that's why I brushed that one off. The second time he hit me was just before my major surgery. Now, I brushed that one off as the fact that, you know, we were both stressed out. $10,000 was a lot of money to spend on surgery. And so I brushed it off, being like, oh, he's just stressed and, you know, whatever happened, happened. The last time he hit me, if you notice, you probably can't see it here, but you would notice it on my Instagram if you saw pictures. He actually took pictures off the wall and hit me with them and stomped my face, kicked me in the head. I had a bruise along the side of my head for about a week, though. And even after that, I still tried to be friends with him. I know, listen, there are people out there that right now are being like, you're a fucking idiot. I don't know why you would do that. After the first time he hit me, I would have been out the door, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. Unless you've been in that relationship, unless you've been that person, then you don't really know what you would do. You like to hope to think that you would walk away. You like to hope to think that you would fight back. You like to hope a lot of things, but until you've actually been in that position, you don't know what you're going to do. You just don't. I never thought that I would be in a position where a man was hitting me. I never thought that I would stay as long as I did with a man that was hitting me. But my thing was that he invested so much in me, in my YouTube channel. The camera that I'm using right now, he bought. The microphone that I use, he bought. You know, he spent $10,000 on my surgery. I started feeling really guilty. You know, back in January when I was doing webcam shows even more, he basically was like, oh, it's totally okay. I don't mind. I don't mind that you do your social media stuff, and I don't mind that you do this and you do that. And then it turned into, well, why can't you do it while I'm not home? Why can't you do it while I'm at work? He didn't understand that, you know, social media didn't sleep, and therefore I had stuff to do before I went to bed. I'm sorry. To any guy that I date, I'm trying to build a brand, and I'm trying to build a following, and so that means being socially interactive with fans and followers. So before I go to bed, I take a half hour to do shout outs, I say happy birthday to everyone on my Facebook list. I go through the events thing every day before I go to bed or when I wake up, and I say happy birthday to everyone. You know, that's just the thing that I do. And he didn't understand that. And so I then became financially reliant on him because I didn't have a job. You know, I was only able to do my webcam shows when he wasn't home, which, you know, a couple hours during the day when, in fact, the better hours were at night. So, yeah. And I couldn't do them when he was here because I just felt awkward, you know? So I had to financially rely on him a lot. It wasn't until the last time that we broke up and he left that I started getting back into the cam shows, and I went back to work at Rexall. Or, well, I went to work at Rexall, actually, not back to work. Went to work at Rexall. And then I started becoming more financially secure, and that's when I really put my foot down and was like, okay, you know what? This relationship is not working anymore. I wish it was. I love you, but I've never been able to feel the same way about you after you hit me the first time. And I was being honest with him. And I said to him, I said, you know, I think that we could be great friends. And so we tried to work on a friendship. But again, that just didn't work. And, you know, it was hard because it was like we were secret friends because I didn't want anyone to know that we were still trying to be friends. So we didn't go to the places that we normally go to, and we didn't go out very often to downtown places. Like my friend Kevin, Misconception, went to see her the other day, and she's like, oh, I haven't seen you since Betty's. And I was like, oh my God, that's like 3 or 4 months ago. Like, I haven't seen my friend in 4 months because I've been trying to fix this relationship in the background, which, you know, I focused so much on trying to fix my friendship with him because he had treated me so good and because I felt so guilty about everything, that I had neglected all of my other friends. I had neglected so many people because of this. And that's the thing that a lot of abusers do to someone who's been abused, is that they isolate them. And I did. I isolated myself. And it's funny because you do it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You start isolating yourself because you don't want him around certain people, because you know how if he drinks, he's going to get abusive. So you don't want to do that. And so it was hard. And every time he hit me and I posted something on social media, it wasn't because I was crying out for attention. It was because I wanted my followers to know that if they were in that situation, that they weren't alone. That you weren't alone. Someone else, like me, was going through the same thing as you. And, you know, my talking openly about this and talking in this video to you is just a reminder to, you know, be strong. Be strong. Have your moments. Like I said, I'm depressed. I am going through some serious emotional turmoil right now that I hope passes soon. But be strong. Like, be strong. Okay? You'll get through this, hopefully. Statistically, it takes a survivor of assault up to 6 times before they finally leave their abuser. And I would say that I reached my 6th time. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being a statistic and being a part of the number because I finally walked away. I've always had issues with men. I've always had issues with dating and being treated a certain way by men. And so this definitely hasn't helped in any way for me in future relationships. I will probably now and for always have a chip on my shoulder about certain things. I will probably be jaded about certain things. I will have a hard time taking stuff at face value from now on. But that's me. I'm broken. Smashed to pieces. And all I can do is protect the broken pieces. I don't want to try gluing them back together anymore. It's just too much work. So now I want to sweep all the pieces into one spot and just sit here protecting them. If that means that I'm alone for the rest of my life, so be it. Because I don't think that my brand of crazy now a guy can handle. I am emotional. I am now, like I said, as broken can get. And so I think that now it's just a waiting game until I die. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have today. I'm sorry if you tuned in and you were expecting something more upbeat, happy. I know that those are generally the videos that you get, but every once in a while, I need you to know that I'm a real person and not a robot, and this is me showing that to you. As always, I sincerely and genuinely appreciate the fact that you watch my videos. I sincerely and genuinely appreciate the fact that you take time out of your life to interact with me here on YouTube and every other social media platform that you talk to me on. I thank you for that. As always, please don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe.